Hello everybody, welcome to today's training, Network Your Way to Your Dream Job. I'm your host, Bonnie Ho, and thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us today. Now, at one point or another, we've all heard the phrase, it is not what you know, it is who you know. Now, believe it or not, it is a fact that your personal network will help you obtain the dream jobs. Keeping up a good relations with professors, employers, and advisors and leveraging their resources is an essential part of job hunt. Now, why is networking so important? According to Career Horizons, more than 80% of job listings are not published online, and most jobs goes to friends or acquaintances. Let's say, for most corporate America, when they have a job opening, they will interview their internal candidates first before they open it up for any external resources. And even if they don't find a good internal candidate, they may go to their existing employees for referrals before they publish the job opportunities publicly. Also, according to the recent survey on LinkedIn, 85% of the jobs are filled through networking. The Wall Street Journal recently also reported that about 94% of the successful job hunters have claimed that networking had made all the difference to them. Now, from my personal experience as international students who successfully landed on a job here in the States and moved from one career to another, and also got promoted within corporate America. All my career advance had happened because of networking. Now, with all the data and success stories, if you are serious about finding the best position for your next career move with a timely manner, then you need to start networking. All right, now, what is networking? Based on the Business Dictionary, networking is an action or the process of interacting with others to collect information and also develop professional or social contacts. Now, the keywords here for networking are information and contacts, which are the two cornerstones of a dream job. Also, networking happens every day. It happens all the time. Either in the workplace or at a bar or at a happy hour. You are building connections with others almost constantly. Even when you go out for a coffee chat with your friends or contact, that is one form of networking. Now, finally, let's move to how to network. So I want to share with you my personal 3-step PDF series here. I know networking can be a daunting task when first approached, and also it can bring chills to even the most outgoing people. But like everything else in life, the only way to get better is through practice, and you cannot hone a skill which you don't use. So okay, my 3-step is called PDF series. So P is short for preparation, and D is short for delivery, and F is short for follow-up. Now please allow me to introduce each of these steps in greater details. So first and foremost, we'll start with preparation. So before you go to any networking event, let's say if it's a happy hour or if it's job fair or if it's a conference, you want to do your homework. You want to research who will be attending this networking event. And then you can figure out whether you have a target person that you would like to connect with. If you do, for example, maybe you want to connect with a speaker at a seminar, then you need to go on to the LinkedIn and check out his or her profile to learn about his or her experiences. Now, what you want to find is what you share in common with that person. Maybe you guys went to the same college. Maybe you lived in the same city before. Or maybe you volunteered at the same charity or nonprofit organization. You only need one common thing to start a conversation. And in addition to that, you also would need to prepare some questions to help guide the dialogue. Some of the questions that you can ask are, is there any exciting project you are currently working on? What attracted you to today's event? If using 3 words to describe yourself, what are they? Or what will they be? Or you can ask, what is a typical day for you? Or, any questions do you have for me? Now, when you're doing the preparation or the research, if there's any particular experience about a person that jumps out at you, make sure that you ask that person to tell you more about it. Now, if the first meeting you're having is a one-on-one coffee chat or meeting, I recommend you to put together an agenda with all the questions in it and send it to the person prior to the meeting. So that's all for the preparation. Now let's move on to the delivery. Now, delivery is about 2 F's: show up and speak up. So first, let's talk about the show up. As the proverb goes, well begun is half done. You should give yourself some credits for good time management and overcoming the fear to be at an event. Now let's say if you show up at an event, please feel free to use the restroom first to refresh yourself and do some power poses. Take a deep breath and put on a big smile. Now when you're ready, let's move on to speaking up. Let's say if you have done your preparation and you did identify a target person that you want to talk to, please don't rush to talk to him or her immediately. You can always warm up by talking to whoever you first encounter in the room. Then you can practice your greetings, your icebreakers, and also your questions with the person that you first met. What's better, this person might give you more insight about your target, or this person may give you inspirations on what questions you can ask, or how you can tweak your approach. Now, once you warm up, it is showtime. Now, when you go talk to the person that you're really interested in, since you already got your homework down, then you can naturally have the conversation flow. Now, as we talked about a little earlier, if this is a one-on-one meeting, because you have done your part with the agenda, you just need to follow the agenda, raise the question one by one, enjoy the conversation, and complete the delivery. In either scenario, stay curious, stay present, and stay engaged. Remember our keywords of networking, the information, and the contact. So the goal of your first meeting was not about the job. It is about the information. You want to use this opportunity to figure out whether this company is really the company that you want to work for, whether this person is the person that you want to work with in the future, or whether the opportunity is actually your dream job. So information is the key in the delivery. Now, once we're done with delivery, we'll go down to the last but not least is the follow-up. Now, finding a dream job is all about selling yourself. I have interviewed a lot of senior leaders in sales, and the one recurring lesson that they taught me is importance of follow-up. The senior vice president of sales actually told me that follow-up is everything. So let's say, even if you made an outstanding impression on someone, if you don't ever follow up, then he or she can forget about you in 24 hours. On the other hand, if you're not very good at winning people over at the first meeting, you can still build strong relationships through constant and consistent follow-up. Now, what is the cadence of follow-up? When it comes to that, I want to share with you my own 1-1-1-1 method. Now, what does it mean? It represents 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, and 1 quarter. So the primary time to for your first follow-up should always happen within a day of the initial meeting. So research has shown that less than 10% of people will actually take the action to follow up. So don't worry if your email will be batted or will be missed in tons of follow-up emails. As long as you do it and do it consistently, you will stand out. Now, when you send the follow-up email within the first day, do mention when and where you met your target person, because this will help them refresh their memories. And also the goal of the first follow-up email is to ask for a coffee chat or a lunch opportunity, so you have a more opportunity to get to know this person better and also talk more about yourself. Now, if you don't hear back from this person, then I would recommend you to follow up with him or her within a week, and then a month, and then a quarter. Now, let's say if you successfully secured a second chance to meet this person for coffee or lunch, then the new follow-up schedule will set from the beginning. So let's say after the second coffee chat, then you want to follow up with that person within a day, a week, and a month and a quarter all over again. Now with Outlook Calendar and Google Calendar, hopefully this will be an easy cadence for you to remember. Now, one tip that I'll give you, and I always ask the question of what articles or books this person would recommend in my second meeting, is because then it can give me a reason to follow up in a month or a quarter, because by then you're probably done with the article or the book. So it'll automatically give you a reason or an icebreaker to start that conversation. All right, with that said, that's all for today's training. So today we talk about network your way to your dream job. And we covered why networking is so important, what networking is, and how to do network. So now let's review it a little bit. So first, why is because it's not what you know, it's who you know. Or at least it's not just what you know, it's also who you know. And the second, what is the key words of networking is information and contact. And then the third is how we talk about the PDF theory, preparation, delivery, and follow-up. I hope you find today's training helpful to you, and good luck, and hope you land on your dream job soon. Thank you all for attending. See you next time.